Auto Form 4 Biology Chapter 12 Video number 5 Page number 9 New title Synapse 神经键 Synapse. What's mean by synapse? A narrow crypt located at the junction between the axon termina of one neuron and the dendrite of the adjacent neuron. Now, this is one of the neuron. This is the axon. 送讯息出来的 axon. And this is a synaptic knobs, 对不对 ？synapse 的头。But for the adjacent neuron, 下一个 neuron actually between the two neurons, they are not interconnected. 这两个神经细胞没有接在一起的。And there are gaps between them. 它们其实有缝的，有一个缝在它们两个细胞之间的。So this is what we call synapse. 这个缝呢就叫 synapse. Okay. So the transfer of impulses, the transmission of impulses, actually from one neuron to another neuron, and they must pass through the synapse. 它一定要经过这个缝，就叫 synapse 神经间。So what is the function of this synapse? Or why they having the gaps? 为什么有这个缝呢？拿来做什么的呢？Your textbook give the sentence like this. I read so many times. 我读了很多次，然后不明白。I better using the old textbook 啦。我用老的 textbook 写的句子啦。写这个。Synapse play an important role in what? Enable the neuron to have connection with many other neurons. 它这个缝的功能就是 for one neuron to connect with many other neurons. 给一个神经线跟很多的神经线、神经细胞啦接在一起。Enable neuron to have connection with many other neurons. 给它们接在一起。给一个 neuron 跟很多 neuron 接在一起。Copy first. Number 2, B for what? Allowing the nerve impulses to be transferred in one direction. Or another meaning, after the impulses pass through this neuron, 它从这个 neuron 过来过后 it cannot flow back, 它不能回来。So to ensure the flows of the impulses in one direction, 为了要确定神经讯息呢只留一个方向。To control the nerve impulse to be moved across it. 然后控制什么讯息可以流过它啦，一过就不能回了。Okay, so these are the important functions. But how is the transmission of the impulses? 它的神经讯息的传送到底是怎样的呢 ？Okay, and look like quite difficult. 有一点看起来难呢 ，but don't worry 啦，不要理它，不是很难就对了。So transmission of chemical signal across the synapse. 它们到底神经讯息怎样输送的呢？来，哇 ！Copy the number first, the blue color number, and I'm going to talk about the story. I talk the story follow the number 啦，我跟着 number 讲故事 ，so copy the blue color number， 把蓝色的 number 全部抄好先。好了没有 ？OK, they are what？ 这些结构是什么东西呢？So how is the transmission or flows of the nerve impulse across the synapse? Right. So number 1, 1号，这个是谁来的？This is the axon of one of the neuron， 其中一个 neuron 的 axon， 讯息从这边来，送走的就叫 axon。So presynaptic neuron。OK，synapse 之前的一个 neuron 来的。这个是 synapse 过后的 neuron，so we call 1号。Postsynaptic neuron, synapse 过后的另外一个 neuron， 中间有一个缝就叫 synapse。So presynaptic neuron 整个 postsynaptic neuron。OK, next 1A presynaptic membrane， 这边有一层膜 ，so 这一层膜叫 presynaptic membrane， 一层膜罢了，没有什么不重要。Your new textbook maybe don't talk about it. 你的 textbook 可能没有提到。This layer 这一层呢就叫 postsynaptic membrane， synapse 过后的那一层膜。Okay, and this is what? Okay, number 2， 这是什么呢 ？Axon terminal of one neuron. Okay， 把讯息送过来的 axon. If this is the axon， 另外一个收讯息的 should be called dendrite. Dendrite of adjacent neuron. 下一个 neuron 的 dendrite。Axon 送来 dendrite 收到，对不对 ？dendrite。The whole structure 这整个头啊，从这边到这边啊 ，the whole structure we call synaptic nodes. Synaptic node. 好了没有 ？So synapse 之前 synapse 之后 ，and now story start 故事开始。So axon carry the nerve impulses towards the synaptic nodes， 它来到了 synaptic nodes。When the impulses come to the synaptic nodes, it will trigger, it will react, or it will trigger 这个东西叫什么呢 ？Synaptic vesicle。It will trigger the synaptic vesicle. Synaptic node 的后面有很多一粒的东西叫 synaptic vesicle. So it will trigger the synaptic vesicle. Move to where? Move to the synaptic membrane. 它就会刺激到这些 synaptic vesicle 慢慢的走 and move to the synaptic membrane and they join together with the membrane. 它就跟这一层 membrane 呢结合在一起 and release the chemical substance. 它一结合在一起啊，它就会放出一些化学物品 and the chemical substance here we call it as neurotransmitter. So 这种化学物品就叫 neurotransmitter. Okay, again. So when the impulses come to the synaptic node, it will trigger the synaptic vesicle, move to the synaptic membrane, and release the neurotransmitter. 放出一种化学物品就叫 neurotransmitter. The neurotransmitter pass through the space, pass through the gap, 它经过这个缝，这个缝呢就叫 synaptic gaps. 也可以叫做 synaptic curve. 缝的那个缝 synaptic curve.And after it passes through the synaptic curve, it's going to bind together with a specific receptor. 它就会跟那个 dendrite 那边的 specific receptor bind 在一起。So the neuron transmitter going to bind together with a specific protein or specific receptor. 它们就会 bind 起来。When they bind together, they're going to generate the new impulses. 它们一 bind 起来啊，它们就会产生一道新的 nerve impulses, and the nerve impulses will be start to move flow again and go to the next neuron 啊，就送去这一个新的 neuron 的 ，OK？ And the whole process actually they need a lot of energy. 这些过程都需要能量 ，so we need the mitochondria.At the end of the synaptic node 呢，在 synaptic node 后面呢会出现一些细胞器叫 mitochondria to supply energy 提供能量给它做这个事情了。Okay, so if you don't know what I say, or the story is too long, 它的故事太长 ，repeat 了，你拖去前面 repeat。刚才我讲话的时候，我的句子已经特意帮你写答案了的。OK, never mind， 第一回合不明白 ，we go to the second level， 我们看。第二回合吧，来，第二回合。Okay, copy the blue color number first. Presynaptic neuron, synapse 之前的一个 neuron， 这个叫 postsynaptic neuron, synapse 过后的 neuron. And copy the number， 抄他们的 number。我们又来了 ，same story but different diagram 呢。Okay, this is what 这一条东西叫 axons。我这一边是 axon， 收到那边叫 dendrite。2号，整个头就叫 synaptic node。3号 presynaptic membrane。3号 postsynaptic membrane， synapse 过后的 membrane。4号 synaptic vesicle， synapse 后面的记了 synaptic vesicle。 OK, story start， 故事开始。Nerve impulses move from the axon, go to the synaptic nodes. It will trigger the synaptic vesicle to release the neuron transmitter. 它会刺激到这个 synaptic vesicle 放出 neuron transmitter. Or what is mean by neurotransmitter? It's a chemical substance， 一种化学物品，有很多种 neurotransmitter， 很多种的，很多名字的。So the neurotransmitter pass through the synaptic curve， 它就经过了这个缝，就叫 synaptic curve。And now it will bind together with a specific receptor， 它就会跟对面的很特别的 receptor bind 在一起。If the receptor is not suitable, they're not going to bind, so the impulse is not going to go to this neuron， 就不会跑去这里 neuron， 所以它可以控制你可以去哪里罢了。Okay, so they will, after they bind with the neuron receptor, specific receptor, it will generate another new impulses, and the new impulse will continue to flow in the postsynaptic neuron 就继续的流动。Remember, the process need energy. 这整个过程需要能量。So we need mitochondria, the organelle 细胞器叫 mitochondria at the end of the synaptic knobs. 这边就出现很多 mitochondria. So these are the transmissions, or this is a process 这个就是它的过程。The transfer or the transmission of the impulses across the synapse 经过那个缝 OK set up next okay next will be page number 5 turn back to page number 5 our brain so set up for this title see you but before the brain maybe we having some exercise 啦看等一下我看bye bye